Okay, guys, I don't know if you can hear me yet, but I'm just logging in very quickly on the laptop to see if there's anyone on there on the live chat. I can see that Oak by Bettina, Betty Khan is on there. Thank you, Betty, for joining. And if any of you missed Betty's amazing, sorry, there's some feedback there. If anyone missed Betty's amazing, beautiful mixed media texture piece, we just watched it, so do hop on over to her channel after if you missed it and do catch up. It is beautiful. You won't regret it, I promise. So do have a look and give her a like, a subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and check that out. We've also got Byron Chandler, who does voice impersonations on his channel. Do have a look at those. He's really, really, really good at them. And they always make me smile, so go over and check his work out. He's got great shorts as well, you know, not short shorts, but the shorts and reels on YouTube on his channel. We've got Angelia Bliss Art, Artist Resin Suda, and Tara as well. So hi everyone, thank you for joining me on Texture Thursdays. And what you can tell, my voice is still a little bit broken, but it is getting better. So today I am hoping to do a little bit of texture work. And you can see this piece here. This is a wistful mermaid that I created previously. It's a mixed media piece with hot glue, a flip cup for the sky. We've got a swipe for the sea, and we've got lots of different textures going here with mica flakes from Colour Art and starfish and lots of shells and pieces. What I did want to do is actually finish this piece today, so I'm going to very quickly finish this piece, and if we have time then we'll move on to doing some sculpture flowers. Now I'm going to try not to talk too much, simply because of my voice, and I want to keep preserving my voice and seeing if it gets better. It has improved overnight, but I think I need a bit more TLC with resting my voice. So how am I going to do this? So what I ordered, and I don't know if you know, but Amazon and other stores stock lots of different coloured sands, and I didn't want it to be kind of sandy yellow or the natural sand colour, because I didn't want to take away, you know, in terms of like the composition, your eye is drawn towards that ship in the distance and towards the mermaid's head because of the starfish. And I feel like if I was to put kind of yellow sand or normal coloured sand here, if coloured sand textured, it would just take away from that, you know, that kind of looking out at sea kind of way that I've set this out. So I've chosen to use white sand, and this is actually white sand. Now, I'm not going to just add white sand to it. I'm actually going to add a little bit of glitter to it to give it a bit of a shine, a sparkle when a light hits it from different parts of the room. And that is the plan today. So I had to really think about what kind of glue I need to use or would like to use. And I'm going to just go really simple and use my Tri-Art liquid glass. Okay. Hi, Creations by Christy. Hi, Astro and Remy. Welcome. Thank you for joining. So I'm going to use some of this, and you can see I ordered this from fluidart.co over a year and a half. I've had it opened. It's still perfectly fine to use. Give it a little shake, I think. But I have had it opened. I've used it on previous projects, but I've still got loads of it left because I did start using resin then. So I use lots of different kinds of resin, lots of different brands. But I'm going to go back with the liquid glass now. I'm going to stick that down. So what I'm probably going to do is take a basic brush. I don't even need a good brush. A rubbish brush will do that. That's fine. And I'm going to pour this on, and I'm going to pour the sand on, and then I'm going to mix that in, the glitter in with that as well. So that's the plan. I did intend to have some music playing in the background, but I've just got in from being out with my daughters. We went to a school festival, which was really lovely out in the sunshine. They had everything from bouncy castles to ice creams to characters like Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse going around, and lots of lucky dips, and it was really, really great. They really enjoyed themselves, so they're kind of knackered now in the next room, resting. So I've had to come back to this and think, okay, I'll just very quickly do this. This really shouldn't take very long because I'm not going to put too much down. I'm just being very careful and making sure I don't cover those rocks too much. So that's the plan. I'm going to try and keep an eye on what's going on in the chat as well. If any of you want to moderate, feel free. I think a couple of you are blue and you can, but Yeah, I'll just check back now in a second and have a look and see if there's any questions or anything about this piece. You can actually see this piece being created from scratch from a bare oval canvas on my channel. If you haven't seen it previously, definitely worth a watch. It was a collab with Marie Louise Art a while back, and I had lots of fun. It was a ocean theme collab. So, and there's lots of really cool collabs coming up. But there's an ocean theme collab coming up by Ayushu's Crafty Kids Club. And it's art by Donna and a bunch of other really cool artists. So keep an eye out for some of the collaborations coming up with all artists from around the world creating beautiful art. And I'll pop a community link up with the playlists at some point when they're ready. But that'll be towards the end of August, I think it is. So something to keep an eye out with. I hope you're doing really well today. You're having a good day. It's not too long to the weekend. Hooray. So if you're in work today, I hope you had a good day in work. If you're having a day off, I hope you took some time to yourselves just to kind of enjoy nature or just enjoy time relaxing, because it's so super important to our mental health, especially after like the few years we've had all around the world with the COVID lockdown and all the things that have happened. Lots of us lost loved ones. I know I did lose loved ones due to COVID, which was such a difficult time for us. And I think much of the world's trying to play catch up now, really trying to get back to some semblance of normality. Some of us have attained it, others are still struggling. So let's make sure we look out for one another and do our best really to just be there for each other, love each other, forgive each other. I mean, we're all human, make mistakes, and just be there for each other. And it's a tough world as an artist on social media, and I know that because I've been trying to do it for a few years now, since I started, and it's really difficult being seen on social media and being recognised and having your work seen, because of all the way that the algorithms work in every social media platform and trying to work out what works and what doesn't for you. So it's worth kind of just supporting each other, I think. So that's down now. That was very quick and easy. I'm going to cut this bag open. And I'm thinking the best way to do this is actually mix the sand and the glitter together in a container first. So let's just grab a container. Now, I'm not going to need a lot. And I am going to dust it off afterwards. And the quickest and easiest way to do that, I guess, is put something down underneath. I can pull that off then. And it'll be easier in the long run. So it's a good idea to think about preparation. I've not really had much time to think about preparation, but I'm just pouring this. It's quite chunky sand. I probably don't even need that much. It's probably too much actually. Maybe I'll pop some back in. So to think about it, I don't want a lot. I could actually mix some of the liquid glass into the sand here to make it far more textured than it's likely to be. I'm going to do a little bit first of all and see how that works. And then I'm going to add the glitter now. Probably need to open that, don't I? Oh, okay, I'm just going to take the nib off. And then add that. Still think that's probably too much. A fair bit of glitter. I really like that. I love the iridescent glitter. I think we need a bit more. Probably end up with half of the tube in there. But I really like that mixed in with the sand. I'm not sure if you can actually catch the shimmer in it. Let me see if I can hold it up to you and then. So we're going to add this now. Just quickly catch up on this. Chat. Oh, Byron, you're such a sweetheart, aren't you? He's saying that I'm such a gifted artist with a passion of the craft, just like me with your voice impressions. Absolutely. You are really good at your voice impressions. I'm still waiting for the day when you do mine, and hope you don't do it when I'm croaky like this. I sound like a frog. Hi, Kim from Kim's Creations, sweetheart. Thank you for joining me. Really appreciate it. Hope you're having a good day. Hi, Ronak from Drawing and Scenery. Ronak's Drawing and Scenery. I love your little sketches. I see them up on the community tab all the time. They're really great. Hi, Angelia. Okay. Oh, okay. So Evelyn Warner, I'm inspired. Just bought a small round table for a seascape. Fantastic. I'm looking forward to, if you post any pictures, please do. I love seeing what people create after being inspired by me. It's just great. It is a lovely feeling knowing that somebody saw something and felt inspired. So I'm going to just literally just pour this over, and you can see I'm just going with it. Easy enough and fun. I feel like I'm back in school, you know, when they made you do arts and crafts and stuff, and it's the best time ever. I think that was my favourite class, really, was design and technology in school and art. And I had this like 20-year break from doing anything. Crazy long break. Back then, though, a lot of people didn't think that was a very good career move, and I'm not sure. I mean, I have sold a fair few paintings. Oh, I got some great news as well. I sold my most recent painting, and let me grab it. So yes, this one, it's sold, and it's going to be flying all the way to Australia. So I'm super thrilled because I think the person who's going to own it, a young lady, she's going to love it on her bedroom wall, and her grandmother's buying it for her, I think. So it's fantastic. It's super thrilling to know that your art is going to be hanging up in someone's bedroom or someone's house. That's fantastic. So I'm really thrilled. So that's done with. We're going to move that away. We've got that on here. And I don't know if Art by Donna is on here. Let me just double check. I think she was going to join, but I'm not sure if she was able to. Move up there. Pop all this away. So I've got that on there. I'm going to just shake a little bit of it off. Or maybe I'll just shake most of it off. No, I'll probably shake the rest of it off later. But I love the sandy look now. If you look at that, I'll try and see if you can see it better with light on. So if you look at that, that's a better look, isn't it? You can see that, you can see the glimmer, the shimmer from the iridescent glitter in that sand. And I think that's perfected this painting for me. Okay, for me, it's like that was the one thing I didn't really know what was missing. But for me, it's so gorgeous now. Like, you can see the sand over the shells, and it just looks embedded. I could have put more sand down and more texture if I mixed a triart glass, and I might think about doing that. But I think right now it's perfect for me. That looks really, really good. And I don't need anything else. It's got that iridescent shine to it. It's fantastic. So that's the finalized piece. I'm going to move that away, and we're going to have a look at something else. I just need that to rest and dry up. So I'm going to move these out of the way. Let's get on to something else. Okay, so guys, if you watch my last live, you would have seen me showing you some colouring pens. And these are the colouring pens that arrived in the post, so I'm going to be doing a test drive with and checking out. And they're really cool. They're from Grabby, and I'm just mentioning them very quickly here, but I'll do a full video of using those to create a piece of art. Now, okay, so what are we doing today? We've got 2 canvases here, and my plan was today to try and do some texture or sculpture painting. Okay, the reason for that is there's a few things I need to just bring out. The reason for that is that these arrived, and I really, really love them, and they arrived from China. I got them from Temu, and what they are flower stamen. They're not real flower stamen. They're synthetic ones, and you've got them in every single colour. And you can also paint them, remember, so you don't have to stick with this colour. You can paint them into any colour you want. So you basically snip these off and you create your sculpture flowers, and these are the statement that go in the middle, and you can do any design flower you really want. It's all down to your imagination. So we're going to have a go at that. But before I do that, I've got something is art by Donna here. I'm not sure she is, but I wanted to show her something very quickly. And that is this. And I've been meaning to show you this, Donna, but I know that Donna walks around a lot and shows us her locality and what's going on local to her. But I found this online on Amazon, and you can probably get a version of it. But it's really cool. So it clips off here. It clips off here, and you put it around your neck, and you have your phone. It's got a magnetic strip here, and you can walk around hands-free, and it just stays literally. It's a good level for it to kind of show everything as you're walking around. So I have used it a couple of times in one or two of my videos when I'm trying to do like a view of your surface area that's not top down. And it works super, super well, honestly. So I was going to suggest this product because it's really cool. I'm not affiliated. I'm not being told to say this. I just basically, there's some pictures here. Actually, you can see that. So that's how it looks. And the magnetic strip is super, super strong. The foam doesn't fall off. You know, it's really, really good. And you can swirl it around. You can do anything, and you can point in different kind of angles with this. So yeah, it is cool. It's called Ray Geek Smartphone Magnetic Neck Holder. I did have one previously, but it was not very good. It was awful, actually, and it kept slipping off. So yeah, I didn't really recommend that one, nor did I show it to anyone because it was not very good at all. But this one is really good. Hi, Jeanette. Thank you. Yeah, it's really cool to have an inquiry about painting and have somebody willing to buy your painting. Is amazing. Yeah, you're right, Betty. You can keep going with the texture until it's done. Okay, Angelia. See you later, honey. Have a good day. Okay, good luck with your cousin on the phone, Donna. But yeah, that was for you. There's one more thing as well I want to show you before we get on to the next thing, and that's voila, this. So my husband actually bought me this like a year and a half ago. I'm not sure why he bought it for me, but it's one of those sets. He assumed I'd love it, but I'm not yet sure because I haven't tested it out. So this is a paint pouring art kit, a step-by-step guide to creating your own fine art. I might do this with the kids or a bunch of the school kids at my daughter's school. So yeah, they literally give you everything inside. So they've got a couple of canvases of different sizes. You can see those, and these are just like the flat panel canvases, the card canvases. And I'm surprised actually that they pop these in because they tend to warp from my experience with fluid art. And some instructions on how to do fluid art. Obviously, I don't really need those, do I? And a couple of tubes of paint. They've given some specific colours. Christy, you like this one. Aqua, pink, purple, and then black and white. Some PVA glue. I'm guessing this is the pouring medium that they expect you to use. A couple of little cups. Some glitter tubes. And some silicone oil as well. A skewer and another white paint. I think that's it. Some gloves as well. So this is a nice starter kit, I guess, as a gift to somebody who's thinking about trying this stuff out, trying paint pouring out. So, and it was only £10 in the UK. It was from the Works in the UK. So if anyone is looking for a quick gift to give their loved ones, or somebody who's like not too sure, wants to play around by themselves, they can play around with creating cells using silicone using this kit. And while I'm at it, I'm going to show you this, the art of paint pouring. Amanda Van Eva, and it's got some really cool techniques in here. Most of them you probably know about. It's got lots of really big pictures and some instructions, very basic step-by-step instructions, and that's really nice to have a look through. So, and talks about different kinds of silicone oils as well, dimethicone and other types of silicone oil and ways to create cells. Okay, let's get on with it. So, yeah, I think it is Byron. I think it's about $12. I'm not 100% sure. Or is it less? I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think the girls will love using that kit. Yeah, they always like got their hands on my tubes of paint and everything else. So, right, let's get this show on the road. So we're gonna start this and we're gonna have a go at creating. So first of all, question is, which of these panels would you like me to do the flowers on? Any preferences? As the first person to respond will have the choice, I think. Byron said the second one. Is this the second one? I'm assuming that's the second one for you, from where you're looking. Okay, cool. So you can see that we've got some texture paste already down. The background was texture paste on top of a old failed pour. And because of the failed pour, you can see these kind of lines in this, which I think are actually pretty. So one of the things about pouring is if you've got some canvases you don't want to throw out, and you can't kind of recover, a good idea is to lay texture paste over it. And this texture paste was mixed in with acrylic paint. And you can see pinks and purples in the background. It's not just one colour, it's quite pretty. And then I used a stencil and added more texture paste on top of a different colour. So we've got those. We're going to get a couple of tiles now to try and mix our paints up in. And I also have here a method of thickening up my texture paste, because my texture paste is a little bit thin. So we've got that as well. Let's see if we can find the texture paste. Give me one moment. Okay, so we'll pop it here. And you can see already that the texture paste that I've mixed up. Now the recipe is already in a previous video I've done on a couple of videos. And you can see the texture paste I've mixed up is light pink. It's kind of a very light pinkish colour. Pearl pinky colour. And I can add paint to this and create different colours. Okay, so I might just split it into, and it's quite thin actually, so immediately I can see that I need to thicken it up a little bit. Now when I add paint to it, because the paint's more fluid than this texture, it's going to get thinner. And what I want for sculpture flowers is really thick paint. So I'm going to add some, matches my fingernails. Yeah, I suppose it does. So I'm going to add some of this, and this is Artesa's Premium Pearl Amethyst Purple. It's a mica colour, so it's got shimmer in it as well. So I'm going to add some of this. I guess I could have asked you guys if you wanted to, what kind of flowers you wanted, what colour. But I'm just going to mix that in and see if it changes the colour or how much I need. Okay. And I'm also going to add some of this powder. You can add lots of different types of powders, bicarbonate of soda. There's loads of different types of powders you can add to thicken it up. Marble dust. And I think I made a really long list in my last video of like the types of powders you can add. And you can actually buy structure paste itself as well, because if you remember, I showed you one from Viva previously, and there's this one. It's fine structure paste, okay, and you can get that on Amazon as well. I'll just show you what it's like. And there's other people getting sort of diapers and getting the fibres out of the diapers and adding that, because that allows for the flowers to stand really well and not kind of fall over, and keep the shape. Because one of the biggest downsides of doing sculpture flowers is that if it's too thin or if it's too wet, it just doesn't keep its shape. There, you can see it already thickening up, I hope. Let me bring you closer. So that's thickening up a lot more. You can see because when I hold my palette knife, it doesn't fall off and it doesn't look sloppy. So I'm just mixing this up. Quite like the colour. And you can add any colour. Make it much darker or lighter. And you really need to give it a good mix when you add the powder there, because it's really important it's mixed thoroughly in. Hi Kat's Fluid Art Creations. Hi Kat. How are you doing, sweetheart? Hope you're having a good day. Right, I think that's mixed enough. I'm going to do a test run now to see if it works. So it's quite forgiving, and like fluid art, that you can just keep trying it out and seeing if it works. So I'm just going to see if this works. So you pick up. Yep, too thin still, okay? And I can tell it's too thin because a bit more. But the problem is, I think it's very easy to put too much in. It's very, very easy to accidentally put too much in, and it's so thick then it's very hard to handle. So I'm going to add a bit more, give this a good mix, and hopefully it's better in terms of consistency. So again, you're using trial and error. You're looking at it, you're practicing and seeing if you can create a flower or petal with your palette knife. And it's quite hard to go wrong, really. Yep, much better, but a little bit more. And then I'm done. I'm going to add a bit extra because I'm going to add a bit more paint to it in a minute. Okay, I'm happier. And if you're in a warm climate, remember, this stuff really dries super fast. It can dry really, really fast, so you have to keep an eye on it. And if you've got any exposed, you should really close the pot if there's any nearby that's exposed. And you can see now, yeah, this is a nice texture. It's thick. It's really thick now. And you can really see what that looks like. Perfect. Much better. I'm happier with this consistency here for me. Okay. And it really is a good idea to keep a couple of palette knives and a bit of water in a jar nearby to help things along with this technique. Right, I'm scraping the tile and keeping it all in one place now. And I'm going to smooth it out. So let's do this. So first of all, I'm going to add a bit of paint. Let's see. Okay, I've added a bit of paint. And I'm going to see if I can make you go closer to it. Is that better? And I'm going to mix that paint across the top. Here we go. I'm just spreading this out a little bit. There we go. I'm going to clean up my palette knife and scrape it all. One of the biggest tricks is to make sure your palette knife is clean at all times. Okay, so when you're creating textured flowers, you need to make sure you've got a clean palette knife. This could have been washed, I guess. It's got previous paint on it, but I'm just making sure my palette knife is completely clean. I'm going to use a diamond shaped one, okay? And I'm going to start my texture flowers, so I'll take this bit off here, tidy it up. And there's very little wastage as well, so I'm going to start picking up my flower. You can see my flower, okay? Again, because I added the paint, it's a little bit thin. And I could add more of this powder in. Let me just see if I've got powder all over my canvas now. So I'm going to start by popping that down. I'm just wondering where to put it. So let's just put one. Should we do it this way? Okay, so again, I can go back in and I can smooth that down. Okay. And let's get another one done. So I'm just smoothing it back out. Just checking with you guys a second. Could I use this in the mold? I think if it was thick enough, then you could. It needs to be thicker than this. So yeah, it's possible. I've never tried it. I am croaky. I've got a bit of a sore throat. But otherwise I'm perfectly fine. I don't feel unwell. Sorry about the rehab for your cousin Donna. So sorry. I hope she's okay. You think I'll be world famous? I somehow think not, Byron. Let's see. I'm not sure I'd ever want to be famous either. I'm an introvert, so in real life, so I don't really like the limelight on me. Okay, so we've got another one. Another thing you can do is just place it on there and then pick it up, okay? One way to do that is like this. You picked it up. Another way to do it is, there's a couple of different ways that people actually do this. I'm going to add a bit more of this to thicken it up a bit more because I've noticed that it's thinned. It's still quite wet. I mean, adding that bit of paint immediately changes the consistency. It's better. Try this one now. Okay. Another way that people actually create petals is like this. They get a wet wipe and then they start picking up the petal. Okay, you can see the petal here. I hope, if that focuses. I'm going to chop the bottom off because I don't need that. And I'm going to pop it onto my wet wipe. And I've smoothed it out so I can just actually work on it a little bit. Okay. So, and then what I'll do is I'll go in again with another palette knife dipped in water and I can just scrape this up like this, and that in itself is a petal. Okay, so you've got this petal and you can place it down on your canvas anywhere you want. So I get another. You can see that that's how it looks. Okay, so that's another way of doing it, and just move that down a bit, chop the excess off. So that's another way of creating a petal. So make sure that water's off the canvas. Let's do it again. Okay, wrong way. So yeah, so I want to create one the other way, a petal towards the left. So I'm just going to start on this side now instead. So you can see this beautiful petal. Can you see that? It's gorgeous. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm getting my wet wipe. I'm going to pop it onto the wet wipe. I'm going to smooth it down a little bit. There I go. And there's my petal. It's curling up. It looks really pretty. And then I'm going to get my other palette knife dipped in water and scoop it up. Sorry, yep, I'll show you there. And that's a perfectly shaped, I'll show you that. That's a perfectly shaped petal. I'm trying to get it to. Yeah, so I'm going to pop that down now. Over here. So I'll probably pop it here. It can be fiddly work, okay, so when you're getting to grips with it, it can be quite fiddly and you're trying to figure out which way around which piece goes. So let's do another one again. And I'm going to do it from the left side. And remember, you can actually paint these petals as well. So we've got another perfect one here. Get rid of the excess there. And we're going to pop it back on here. And pressing down and moving away. There we go. Getting a palette knife and scoop it up. Just easier to scoop up from that side. There's another one. And I can pop it down here. And we can smooth it out, remember. So we need a palette knife that's wet, ideally, to smooth it so it doesn't stick to the palette knife. You can see I've just turned that 2 petals into 1. Okay. Really easy to do. Okay, so let's do another one. So I'll get one more. So I need to smooth all this out. So I'm going to just grab it all again. And the edges do tend to dry very quickly, so I have to kind of give it a good mix again. You can see my flower forming. There we go. Smooth that down. And how flat you make this depends on how thin you want your petals. So if you want thick petals, I quite like the thicker petals with body. But if you want really thin petals, you would just make sure it's super flat on here initially when you smooth it out. Okay. And if you want the opposite, then you do the opposite. So I'm just going to pick it up again with a clean palette knife. Thank you, Betty. That's really sweet of you. I've not really instructed much art before my channel, ever, really. Obviously, I've never instructed art, but I have instructed. I mean, I've been a teacher, lecturer for more than 20 years. I started teaching in 2004 now, I think it was, a long time ago. It's actually 20 years, yeah. God, it's flown by. So I have been teaching all my life as literally my profession, but I'm not taught art before, so it's kind of new to me. But it's really super sweet of you to say I'm good at it. Okay, so we've got that one. We're going to do the same thing on a wet wipe. There we go. How fun is this? It's nice just watching it come together as well, I think. So, and we've got this beautiful petal. I'm going to scrape it up now. Probably need to grab that side of it. Beautiful petal. Ta-da! Might fall off, but there it is. I'm going to pop it back down here. And remember, the petals don't all have to be in the same place. You can sort of pop them wherever you want them to go. And that's that. So I'm going to smooth it down. Really easy. Okay. And I'm going to do something different now. I'm going to get a blob of it. Maybe I'll mix a bit of paint in there. Add a bit of paint in this bit. And I'm going to just literally just creep it up. It can be quite messy, this bit, so this is what I want. And I want to really just pop it in there because that's the inside of it. And it doesn't really matter too much if it's messy. I'm going to push it down. Here we go. So, here we go. Lovely. And I'm going to get some of these. The fun bit. So what colour shall we have? Any preferences, guys? What colour would go well, do you think, with this canvas? The background, the texture, and the colour of these flowers? Grey. We've got green. Who said cream? So we've got, oh, cream, okay. Let's get the cream. So we've got darker cream. We've got a lighter cream. So this is one of them. We've got this kind of browny cream. One of these. Let's pick. We want it to really stand out. I think this colour, the lighter one, looks good. So we're going to stick some of these in. We're simply going to cut it with some scissors. And we don't want them all to be the same length, obviously. It looks better if they're different lengths. We should really take that gold thing off. Is this coming off? Yep. Okay, great. So I'm going to grab a few. Don't need much. This colour's really nice, isn't it, Betty? So we've got a few there. I'm just going to cut them. Pop them up there and pop these into this painting. So I've got loads of these. I can put them individually or grab a couple and just bung them in. I think they need to be shorter still. I'm just going to stick them in all in one go. Okay, that didn't work. I dropped that one. Maybe I'm not going to do that. Grab a couple and stick them in. To show you this. A bit fiddly, that one's too long. Okay, let's find a shorter one. That's better. I think that's really pretty. So we've got all of these in. Okay, we just need to put some more petals down now. We need to really think about how a flower looks and also what would look good in terms of the rest of the petals. So before this paste dries up, I'm just going to quickly do a couple more. Bye, Antara. Thank you for joining, lovely. Hope you have a good day. I know it's getting late for you. Thanks, Jeanette. It's good fun. Thank you, Betty. Wow, 11:16 p.m. where you are, Tara. That's, oops, wrong side. I keep doing that. I keep picking up from the wrong side. I've got to remind myself all the time. So I'm going to pick up from this side. So remember, if you want petals from the left, you need to pick up from a particular side. Picking up everything at the bottom as well here. Okay, so here we go. You can shape your petals any way you like as well. Afterwards, you can pop them down onto the tile again, cut them. You can spray your tile and then pop them down on there. So we've got another one. Okay, so I'm trying to bring this up close. I wonder how I'm going to do this with one hand. Let's move this over there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is very carefully place this. Okay, we've got a bit of excess there we don't need. Take that away. I'm going to place this around this beautiful middle bit. Wish me luck. Okay. Okay, so let's just shape that in. Okay, and what we want is we want to open that up a little bit so we can see the stamen. Perfect, but we want to make sure it's actually stuck on as well. So you can kind of glimpse the stamen that way, if you see that. Okay. It's pretty, isn't it, Betty? I mean, I love flowers generally, and being able to make them myself is so much fun. Let's pick up some more. I wonder if you can see that. We've got a lot of stuff in the way here. Move this down here. Move that across. Okay, so I'm going to pick up again. So I'm going to go from the other side, remember, because we want a petal this side as well. So we want a small petal, so I don't want to pick up too much. I'm using the tip of my palette knife to pick up. I'm not using my entire palette knife. Okay, and I don't want it to be too curved, so I'm not making sure I don't have one that's too thick. Okay, that's perfect. Just going to get a clean palette knife, dip it into water, make sure it's perfect. Yep, looks fine to me. So just making sure the top is all right. Bit of excess there. Bit of excess there. So we're going to pop this one down, okay? Okay, we're going to pop this one down here. So let's do that. Okay, we need to push this one up a bit and in. Okay, so we've got this lovely little petal down here as well, and you can see that, and you can shape them a little bit because it is quite malleable at this stage. I'm going to do a really big one now, so one's going to come out here and another petal this side. Okay, so let's do a really big one. We need to pick up more on our palette knife, so I'm going to start up there till it levels out. Then remember, you can chop the other side off as well to make sure that it's tidy. Okay, so here I am, just making sure it's nice and big. Chop the bottom half off, don't need that. And we've got this big petal here, okay? Okay, so I'm going to dip my palette knife in, trying to get it off it, and we're going to place it here. Or we can just go in with our palette knife and just push it down. So I'm going to pop it here. But I actually needed the other one to push it on, because it wants to come along with my palette knife. Okay, trouble with this one. Stay there. Okay. This one wanted to come away with the palette knife because it was just being a bit naughty. There we go. There we go. That's looking good. So just make sure that bottom is smoothed out. I'm just going to show you what it looks like now. Get a dry cloth and wipe the bottom residue away. These are hard to pick up. So I'm going to bring it up closer to you. So that's what it's looking like now. Okay. We can probably push this petal down a little bit. And smooth it out. So you can see it's really easy to smooth it out. Okay, that's much better. Now we need another petal this side, I think. So we'll do that next. Okay, so we've got this side now, got this petal here. So you're getting the gist of it, okay? So we've got this beautiful petal here. Again, I mean, to make it easier to get it off my palette knife, I could just pop it on here to begin with, which I might do this time. Here we go, that's our petal. And I'm going to pick it up again from this side here. There we go, we've got a beautiful flat petal here, which is perfect. We can shape that on. I'm going to try and move this canvas a little bit so we can get the angle right. And what I'm trying to do here is push this petal onto my canvas in the right position. So I'm going to take it really close up and there we go. And you see the way I did that maneuver. I literally just pushed it in. I mean, you can prop it up as well with little balls of tin foil to give it kind of a 3D look. If I push this up a bit, maybe if I thin it down up here. Or turn it corner. You can see that. There you go. Looking interesting, right? Yeah, so you can see I've almost created the flower. I'll create some leaves then with some green below underneath it to prop it up. But I'm just at this point just showing you how I do the flowers and how you can create beautiful sculpture flowers using just your palette knife and some texture paste. A homemade texture paste or purchase, it doesn't matter, but homemade is much more fun because you can just change it, the consistency of it to whatever you prefer. So you can see that I've got this piece again, and I might add another one down here just to kind of even that out. I might add another petal here, and you can go wild with it, really. You know, I might just push that up a bit. And again, that. I might push this middle bit up. So you can really play around with it. So it's 3D. See? Okay, I think that's it for today. I know we've been going for a while, but I'll just do a close-up for you to see what it looks like. And you can go in with a paintbrush afterwards and add shading and other colours to this as well once it's dry. It doesn't really take that long to dry. I found that this particular texture-based mixture recipe only takes around a day to dry. It's super fast. So it's really, really cool. Creating your own flowers, creating your own kind of petals, creating your own leaves and vines and all sorts. I am going to dabble with creating different kinds of flowers. So primarily I've been playing with this kind of flower, but I want to quickly show you something. I might not have it with me actually. No, I don't think I do have it with me, but this is another textured flower similar to this. And you can see the petals there, very, very similar. It's got these white pearl stamen And the leaves as well have got pearlescent colour in them, but that was homemade DIY texture paste, sculpture paste I should say. It was slightly different to texture paste. Sculpture paste is easier to kind of create petals from. So yes, that was another piece. There was a couple others I made which I painted over. This was my very first one, and you can see the very first one I did was this one. I added some little pearls in there, iridescent kind of glowy pearls in there. But yeah, I did the buds as well using homemade DIY texture paste. So yeah, there's that one, but there's loads of them lying around here. I've done a couple others. You might have seen them in my previous videos. Hi there, Art's Really Cool is online. That's great. Okay, yeah. I'm afraid we're at the end. Learn about leaves next. Yes, Evelyn, I'll do a leaves one as well for you. Making leaves is super fun. I find them more fun than creating the petals. But I guess in the next one I'll show you how to do the leaves, how to pipe on the stems, how to draw the stems even. And you can do lots of things with this. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you all. Do catch up on my previous few lives. They've all been very different. I've done blooms. I've done a swipe, which was really cool. I've done a bunch of other things, really, a butterfly. So if you missed any videos, catch up on the lives if you can. Helps with my watch hours, and I appreciate every single one of you. Hope you have a wonderful day and great things happen for you this weekend. Bye for now and take care. Bye Sudha, bye Betty, bye Evelyn, bye Kat. Thank you, Kat. Bye Joyce. I'm glad you love it. And anyone else I've missed, Adrian, bye Adrian, bye Byron. See you guys soon. Love you all.